Here's your Alabama WX weather video for this Sunday. It's the 11th day of February. I'm meteorologist Bill Murray, and severe weather is a possibility across Alabama on this Sunday and again on Monday. We're starting to move closer and closer to our more prolific severe weather season. Certainly we can have severe weather in February, and of course have had significant outbreaks this time of year. Not expecting anything like that today or any time in the next 2 weeks, but we do have a lot to talk about, so let's go get at it. Recording this video just before midnight on Sunday night, and we do have an area of rain and thunderstorms across the northwestern quarter of Alabama. They're well northwest of I-59 from the Scottsboro area up in Jackson County down through Coleman to around Jasper and Fayette, all points northwest of that, getting a soaking rain tonight. Temperatures are in the 50s in that rain area, 60s to the south of it, as you see there. And we've got some active thunderstorms in Mississippi. There from about Philadelphia down to Forest. This is the radar from Jackson, Mississippi at this hour. We did have a brief tornado warning in Rankin County for a storm that was north of Brandon. Did show rotation, and we do have a lot of vorticity in this area. You can kind of see that, a couple comma heads systems here. And if these storms were any stronger, had any more of an updraft, we could see a possible tornado. Not out of the question. Helicity values are pretty strong. Right here, they're running 316 meters squared per second squared in that 0 to 1 kilometer layer near the surface. And as you know, if you paid attention to the blog for a long time, 300 meters squared per second squared is really strong. But the CAPE is very inconsequential. Mixed layer CAPE there around 244 joules per kilogram. So, very modest CAPE, very low level CAPE. Go up here into these storms up here by West Point, and the storm relative velocity is actually a little less, and the CAPE is actually almost non-existent, 12 joules per kilogram there. So that's kind of what's going on. I want to take you though to the west real quick. This is the this is GR Earth right here, which shows composite of radars showing showers across a good bit of Louisiana there back into eastern Texas. But this is our next system. This is the system we're going to be dealing with later today. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect right now for a large part of the Texas Hill Country. It goes until 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. Line of thunderstorms there from southeast of Abilene back through the San Angelo area and on into extreme southwestern Texas there. A couple of thunderstorm warnings. We've had a 1-inch hail report here near Ovaldo in Taylor County, Texas. 1-inch hail there just south of San Angelo, kind of getting ready to move into that area. Well, let's dig into the maps here. This is North America, or at least the United States for the most part, showing GFS, 500 millibar heights, and their anomalies. And you can see you've got a big upper low here early on your Sunday morning, southeastern New Mexico. Strong ridge here over the Caribbean into the southern Bahamas. It's not going to move anywhere quick, and that's going to keep things kind of moving at a snail's pace here. That system there in New Mexico dives across Texas here through Sunday night up into Oklahoma, intensifying a bit as it goes, and it moves into northwestern Arkansas and southern Missouri on Monday morning. That's going to be our system here. Now, we don't have the new severe weather outlook, the new day one, but this is the day two the Weather Service issued yesterday on Saturday, indicating a slight risk of severe weather for your Sunday. Remember, slight risk is that 2 out of 5 category there, leading from parts of southern, from Pickens County over to Greene County, Hale County, extending on to the south. A good bit of the area in a marginal 1 out of 5 risk, really areas south of US 278. And as we get into what was the day 3, which will be the day 2 by the time you see this, then in the Weather Service, the SPC will issue a new outlook overnight tonight. But a large slight risk, level 2 out of 5 there over the southeastern third of Alabama into southern Georgia, even South Carolina and North Florida on Monday. And still will be tracking thunderstorms that will develop, as you'll see in a moment, there during the day on Monday, generally in the I-59, I-65 corridor, and those are the ones that we'll have to keep a very close eye on. Now, first, this is the activity, this is the HRRR for 6 a.m. on Sunday, showing that we've got fairly widespread showers and thunderstorms across the central part of the state. They're generally in the I-20 corridor. Those storms are going to be going downhill fairly quickly, and they'll move into Georgia pretty quickly. So by 10 a.m., this is pretty much what the radar should look like. A few scattered showers there over East Alabama. But those storms that we're talking about tonight in Texas are going to be pushing into southwestern Arkansas, northwestern Louisiana, and out of eastern Texas. So we'll track those during the day on Sunday, reaching the Ruston area there along I-20 in northern Louisiana here by 12 o'clock, reaching into western part of Mississippi here by 2 o'clock. And look out here ahead of this in areas of central and south Alabama, showers and thunderstorms developing. That's kind of concerning. We'll be watching that closely, almost like a little mini warm front here. But the storms will be still progressing across Mississippi at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock and into Alabama by 5 o'clock. And by then we could have really two areas of concern. One across south central Alabama and that instability there, a warm air advection pattern. And then we'll be tracking these storms that are in west central Alabama at that point. By 6 o'clock, they'll be accelerating to the east. That pattern right there and those echoes looks like we might be dealing with another MCV, maybe a mesoscale convective vortex. And that's kind of concerning. This warm frontal area lifting to the north, that's always a potential problem. And then those storms into the Birmingham area by 7 o'clock. Progressing onto the east pretty quickly, but that boundary is going to kind of lie right in here. More showers and thunderstorms developing during the late evening hours, more back in Mississippi, moving into northwest Alabama by midnight. And then it looks like things are going to start to fire up. Generally in the I-59, I-65 corridor by 4 or 5 o'clock Monday morning. These thunderstorms will then progress to the east, and as they do, they're going to intensify. And this is why we have the slight risk for Monday. This would be 9 o'clock. This would be 9 o'clock. That was 8 o'clock. And, we'll just be watching those. Now, the upper low will be slower to drag across the area. It's we might see some clearing for a couple of hours during the day. That'll be interesting to watch for, especially Monday afternoon. But then this wraparound moisture on the upper low will bring those clouds back into Alabama. We might even see a few showers in the Tennessee Valley Monday evening. We'll kind of be watching that. Now, here's the GFS. I'm going to go back and make sure we're using the 18Z run so that we can kind of stay consistent with the messaging here. This is Sunday morning during the pre-dawn hours. Rain, thunderstorms will be fairly widespread by 6 o'clock in the morning. They're going to be in this area. There's a low back in Texas. Snow's coming for the Panhandle on the backside of that system. Fairly typical pattern moving into southwestern Oklahoma. Winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories are in effect for a large part of this area. With there were winter storm watches earlier tonight. I haven't checked the status of those for parts of Oklahoma. But this is noon on Sunday. That low's moving near Texarkana there, secondary low developing according to the GFS there in southeastern Louisiana. This is Sunday night. This is Monday. The low is near Memphis. Heavy snows moving through parts of southern Missouri, out of southeastern Kansas, and more rain and thunderstorms expected for Alabama through the afternoon hours. Moving on out, maybe not quite as fast as this, but a few showers left in the Tennessee Valley. Now we get to the easy part of the forecast. This is Tuesday morning. We're drying out. Clearing begins. We'll at least have partial sunshine on Tuesday. Temperatures, though, are going to be in the 50s during the daytime because much colder air will be moving into Alabama, and it will certainly be breezy on Tuesday. Wednesday night lows, probably, Tuesday morning lows are going to be in the 30s. We're going to have a freeze, a light freeze at least, in parts of North Alabama early Wednesday morning. But you can see high pressure is in charge. Radiational cooling will be at its maximum. And a few spots up here are going to see 30 to 32 degrees. A few of those colder spots, you know who you are going to see upper 20s. But most everybody be in the lower and middle 30s. Wednesday, though, looks like it'll be a completely sunny day. High temperatures will warm back into the 60s. You feel that early, I guess it would be a late winter sun. It's beginning to intensify, the angle of the sun, and we're seeing more heating, and we'll be in the middle 60s, lower to middle 60s on Wednesday. Back into the 30s Wednesday night, but Thursday looks, even though we see showers developing there to our north and northwest, we'll stay dry here in Alabama. It'll be a partly sunny, or at least a partly cloudy to mostly sunny day. High temperatures on Wednesday are going to be on Thursday will be in the middle 60s, and then as we get into Thursday, mostly sunny skies with high in the middle 60s. Right there, get into Friday. Partly sunny, chance for rain returning by Friday night. We're back in this southwesterly flow. Upper level disturbance in the southern stream is coming around through Mexico and swinging out into the Gulf of Mexico, where it will open up a low pressure system there south of the Texas and Louisiana coast. By Saturday morning, rain will move into southwest Alabama Friday night, and that rain will be spreading to the north during the overnight hours into Saturday morning. This is 9 o'clock Saturday. Moving into Saturday afternoon, you can see a widespread cold rain across Alabama. No chance of any frozen precipitation. This run looking a little bit wetter. I think we're talking about an inch and a quarter of rain, but the rain is moving out by Sunday, and we have clearing skies there on the backside, and it looks like Monday and Tuesday, and in the beginning in the week 2 period, will be dry and fairly mild. Highs in the 60s. Our average highs right now are in the upper 50s. Overnight lows in the lower 40s. So we'll be just a little bit above normal. System moving through the Great Lakes. System out west again by Wednesday the 21st. We're deep into Voodoo territory. Another low moving into Missouri there on Friday night the 23rd. And that's our next weather maker. It's scheduled in here, guess what, just in time for the weekend. Rain arrives early Saturday morning, but you can see this system is much more progressive. Northwestern sections are out of the rain by noon, and the rain is quickly out of Alabama by 6 p.m. on Sunday the 25th, and it looks like we're dry as we head into the period. Now let's focus on the severe weather threat for later today. And this is 6 p.m. off the HRRR. I'm going to pull a forecast sounding, but by that time, as you remember, on the HRRR, we were seeing showers and thunderstorms from the Huntsville-Decatur area back into, Marion and Winston counties, down into, east, or moving into Walker County, into Fayette County. And we've got these thunderstorms down here. So, first, let's look right around the Birmingham metro area. To get our kind of our first look what a sounding would look like. And it is a tornadic sounding. Now, that does not mean we're going to have a tornado, but we see this long curving photograph. The Cape at that point expected to be around 550 joules per kilogram in that location. The effective shear is very, very strong. Maybe too strong, about 82 knots. The low-level helicity is in that sweet spot around 226 meters squared per second squared. And the storm, or the significant tornado profile or potential parameter, is not that terrible. So this is not a really, powerful looking outbreak or anything like that. But we could see an isolated tornado or two. Let's go down here into Bibb County, southeast of Tuscaloosa, still calling for a tornadic sounding. The Cape, of course, is a little bit more the further south we are. The STP parameter is a little bit higher. But, no real significant analogs in the reference data. So that's kind of a good sign. Let's look down here right along this warm front, probably in northern Montgomery County, perhaps over into parts of Elmore County. No severe weather, and that's good news. So hopefully, if we've got any problem, it's probably in that slight risk area, going down here, right around northern Hale County. That parameter are the sounding still calling for the potential for a tornado. So we got to take the situation seriously. We'll be watching it very closely. These are highs today off of the National Weather Service's National Digital Forecast Database. And as we go through time, you see on Monday we're a little bit cooler, not much. Tuesday we're definitely cooler. We won't get out of the 50s. Wednesday, a few spots in North Alabama hang in the 50s. Most everybody's in the 60s by then. Pretty sure we're all in the 60s by Thursday. And Friday, with clouds beginning to increase, we could see temperatures backing off a degree or two. And then Saturday just looks like a miserable, cold and rainy day. This is rainfall totals off the GFS over the southeastern United States. Through the next 36 hours or so, you can see most everyone getting about an inch of rain. Large swaths of central North Alabama getting between 1.5 and 2 inches of rain, which we will not complain about as we continue to chip away. Our short-term moisture needs are in good shape, but we still have a little bit of drought hanging around on that nasty old drought monitor. These are temperatures off the National Blend of Models. Running out over the next 11 days. 68 today, 67 tomorrow. We cool off sharply Monday or Tuesday to 55. Wednesday, we're back in the 60s. We stay there, fall off for the weekend, and then slowly make our way back. No really, really cold air. Probably a potential freeze in those North Alabama locations on Wednesday morning, and possibly some frost Tuesday and Thursday mornings as well. Can't rule that out. It's just way too early to be planning. And as James always says, what does he always say? Not till Good Friday. But anyway, that's nowhere near right now. Good Friday won't be the end of March. So just, cool your jets and be a little patient. I'm going to have a fabulous Weather Brain show Monday night. 1958, there was this tragedy in Arizona, Tucson, where a blizzard kind of came out of the blue. It was unforecast. And several scouts, Boy Scouts, a group of 6, had started out on a hike in Mount Baldy that day. And as the weather deteriorated during the afternoon, one group of 3 decided to go back to their base camp. The other group of 3 tried to go to the crest and got lost in, temperatures in the single digits and below zero and feet of snow. And unfortunately, they were not found for 19 days. But Kathy Hufault, a lady who was the brother of one of the surviving scouts, has written a fabulous book about it, Death Clouds on Mount Baldy. And she and her brother, Ralph, are going to join us Monday night, 7 o'clock. So if you want to see this very compelling story, tune in then, or whenever you get your podcast. We release them to the public late on Monday evenings, early Tuesday morning on all the normal channels, but you can watch us live on YouTube, youtube.com/weatherbrains. You can also pick us up on the over-the-air air channel on ABC 3340 Monday. Well, that's your weather video for this Sunday, the 11th of February. I'll be tracking the storms as they develop across Alabama and move into Alabama later today. And we'll have any late information that develops. There are notes on the blog, complete background behind what we're talking about here. And I'll have a new forecast update for you at noon. James will be back with 2 days tomorrow. Scott will say hello to you next Saturday. And I will be back a week from today on Sunday, the 18th. And until I get that chance, as I always tell you, keep an eye to the sky because you're always going to have something fun to look at.